Oops, it's 5. It's 5 o'clock. It's good to go. We're good to start. Hello there. Hello, everybody. Nope, I need to move one slide. Let's get here. Yes, that's more relevant for us. Hello, and welcome everybody to our second webinar with Kompass BMS. Our first one was 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago. We were talking about maps at that stage. Currently, let's minimize this one. Currently, we would be looking on scheduling. Quite a fundamental, quite an essential function of operations, we might say, being able to schedule all your resources in order to be able to just jump on the projects and do the works. From our experience, we know that this is quite essential for organizations in our industry, in surveying and engineering in general, because everything is so fast paced. Probably most of you will be nodding right now with all the clients that they're just changing the project in the last moment, or they're just pulling it back or asking us to bring it forward, etc., etc. So we will be seeing lots and lots of ways of how we can deal with that with Kompass. First of all, we will be seeing the schedule view. You can see a sneak peek in here of the schedule for some of you that might not have Kompass yet. Then we will be looking at filtering. And in this area, we will be talking about some tips and some tricks that even Kompass users are not fully aware of. Therefore, stick around with us. And then we would be looking on equipment management, which equally, it was probably last week that I've showed to a heavy user of Kompass something on the equipment management that blew his mind. So stick around, there are lots of things to cover. Let's start though with the initial schedule view, but before going through that, just to point out that any questions, any comments at any point, you can just drop them on our Q&A section on our webinar. And then this webinar is recorded and it will be made available to all of you after the end of the webinar. A little bit about me, I'm Spiros. Most of you already know me if you are already clients, customers of Kompass. I'm the customer success manager, helping the existing customers to with any questions that they might have and helping on onboarding for any new customers. So time for us to just jump quickly on Kompass. Let's go through here. Here we are. This is the very first screen. We can see the dashboard. Now, as we've done before in the previous webinar, for some of you that might have seen that, I would like to go through a timeline, just show you how the process goes in order to schedule some tasks. The first thing that we are doing as project managers really is to head to our projects. I'm saying projects. Let me just pick my department for this webinar. I'd say that I'm on subsurface engineering, SU department for the US. I can see this project and I would like to actually schedule some tasks for this one. I will click on that. Now, we might come across some concepts and some ideas of Kompass that if you are not a user, you might not be fully aware of. Don't worry, we will be covering them in next webinars. But for you who are using it, you kind of know where we're going with sales. We're finding some of our proposal items. And I would like to create some tasks out of this proposal item. So I'm selecting it, actions, create tasks. Now, some of you might have noticed this tick box. Some of you might have ignored it because you're too busy to just continue doing your works. I would like to just have a quick look on this one and what it means. If I will quickly just jump into this proposal item, we can see in here that for that particular works, the site capture, I have a surveyor assigned for 5 days and a junior surveyor assigned for 5 days. In total, 10 days for that particular task. So if I will go back now, I will go here, create tasks, and I will select this one. I will create, as we can read, separate tasks for staff resources, which means that once I'll click create, I have these two tasks, different tasks, one for surveyors, one for junior surveyors. Not everything merged into one task, but separated. This is quite helpful for some of our customers who want to have a close, to just monitor how many days, how many hours are spent per role, which means that for that surveyor, I will be only scheduling it against surveyors and junior surveyors for junior surveyors. Let's click this one and start scheduling it. I will click edit and I'll have to go for which date is on the April 3rd. up until April the 5th. For some of you who are in Europe, you might notice that the demo site is on the US formatting. That's where I have the month and the date, but that's entirely down to your account, really. 3 days for this task, and I will put Amy Cross. I'm just checking my note. Anthony Green. Great. I'm gonna just put a color as well. Let's put something prominent. Let's make it black. Okay, so this is ready. I'm saving it, and my task is ready. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean much right now. As we see it, we would like to see it in the schedule view, clicking on the schedule, and just jumping back in April, in here. And there you go. Here it is. Here is our task, the task that we have just created. Actually, let me just do a quick filtering in here, just for my department once again, subsurface engineering. So now I only have the people that they are working under my department as me being the head of department. What we can immediately see on that particular task is that we have a bit of an issue with Amy. It seems that she's already planned on another project from Monday and Tuesday. Also, she's on leave on Wednesday, April the 5th. She has time off. That's why we can see that Kompass is kind of signifies it with a different color, telling you that there is a bit of an issue in here. You might want to have a look and check that. So what I can do now is I will click Edit, and I will just move this one, let's say to Andy Glenn. I can see that he has some gaps. Here it is. There you go. So now I fix that. Andy Glenn is scheduled not with Anthony Green. Something really frequent for most of us in the industry, as I've said before, the client will call you and will tell you that, oh, you know what, we can't start on Monday. We will have to push it a little bit. Can you just push it for Tuesday? All I have to do then is just drag it here. Or they might say that, you know what, we don't want to do all 3 areas, all 3 days. Let's do just 2 days. Okay, I will just click the pencil. I'm going to change it for that day. Here it is. So easy. And they might even tell us that, you know, the third one, let's do it on Friday, April the 7th. Sure, I will just click this one, create a new task, drag this one in here. As we can see, we've got this weekend as well. It kind of signifies that we're not working during the weekend, at least on that particular setting. I'm saving it. So that's it now. I have all these 3 days planned for Andy and Anthony, which is much different than what you might have experienced in the past, that you might have some spreadsheets that you have to update, and then each and every employee will have to just jump on the spreadsheet, and everyone was making changes and then send lots and lots of emails left, right, center. You don't have to do this anymore, because everybody, wherever they are, on site, in the office, they can just jump on the schedule and see how these things are changing. So you've seen how quickly we've done all those changes. Create new tasks. Yes. So the other thing that I would like to show you is that we've seen before that we have created this task in the project. We've assigned Amy Cross. We were not aware that she is not available. We can do some planning from schedule straight away. Therefore, we will have this visibility straight away. We will be able to see which are the gaps. I can see, for example, that on Thursday, April the 6th, now I have a gap with Andy and Anthony. I can create a new task. I will just click Add, go here. I can select an active project. You can see these tags in here that signifies that for those projects, we do have some tasks which have been created but have not been planned yet. We can even try one that doesn't have any of them. I can just go here, doesn't have any, 0 pending. All I'll have to do in this stage is that I will have to define survey of area, let's say A. I will have to define which proposal item I will have to use. On existing tasks, I already have the proposal. Right now, I don't have it. So I will just use this one. Start date, it was the Thursday, the 6th. Yep, field. That's 1 day. And once again, we will have Anthony Green. And what was the other? Andy Glenn. Set. Here it is. Ready. So we can see it straight away. Talking about availability and talking about how we can see all those gaps on the schedule, there is a view on Kompass that will just give you all the people who are available. For example, if I will go here And if I will change the filter, let's say to 1 week, it will hide everybody who is fully planned with billable hours. And those that are having gaps are the people that we will have to set some billable hours against those days. Sorry, let's go back to 2 weeks. Activate. Yep. Also, we can see who's on leave. There's another view in here. Leave, quick and easy. Just see from your department who's on leave on that week. We're going back to tasks. And the other thing that I would like to show you in here is something that from experience, we've seen that not many of our customers are using it. It's the markdown area in here. Now, I can see that we do have a client with us, a customer, that they're using it quite heavily because most of their employees are having a very, very long list of things that they have to do. So for example, in here, Bill Harris, actually, let me just sign in as Bill so that you will be able to see what he's seeing. Okay, his tasks are up there. And by the way, now that we are on Bill, I can just show you that I cannot edit the schedule. There are only the people who have the permissions to edit the schedule can do so. Not everybody can. However, the markdown, yes, Bill can do that. So Bill can come up and say that, you know what, I'm done with this one. I will mark it as done. I'm done with this one, mark as done. I can actually hide them as well. So Bill is getting a little bit of a gratification, let's say, every time that, oops, his scheduling is getting a little bit shorter. He's getting a little bit happier because his tasks are being done. Let's reverse them as they were. Cool. And go back to the main account. And with that said, actually, this is the first time that I will make a short break in order for me to go and have a look whether we have any questions, any queries from what we've seen so far. Let me just jump back here. So I can see that we have no questions. Let's go to the Q&A section. Oh, yeah, we do have from Georgina. Is there an option to recur tasks, i.e. auto-program for weekly or monthly occurrence rather than manually entering each time and task must be... This is a very good question, Georgina. And actually, if we will check on our feedback, we do have a site, it's a feedback site where all our users can go there and put some suggestions for Kompass. That is there. There are some people who are actually have asked that in the past. Currently, this is not available, but it is on our plans. It is on our feedback to implement it at some point. Okay, cool. So I will just move on to the second part of our webinar. But as I've said, at any point, at any moment, feel free to just drop your questions and I will go through them. We'll have another short break for questions. So the next thing that I would like to show you, we kind of loosely had a bit of a look on the filtering when I jumped there and I've picked my department in here. There you go. There are more things that I can do with my department. I might be able to select all the projects from a specific project manager. And then this is something really frequent that people do that. They would like to have on their schedule all people who are doing processing or all people who are doing field works. So they will select the people who are doing processing. Let's get those ones. They will exclude those who are on site, let's say like this. And this is a brand new view for them, a brand new filtering for them. Now, as you can see, this is kind of a tough one. We don't want to ask our users to do this filter all the time. Therefore, they can save it as it is. They can just save it as processing only. Create, activate, and now the processing only is here. Can go to all. This is the entire organization. Can go to processing all. I'm just having my filtering. Do I want to change it? Yeah, okay, edit. Let's remove someone. Let's add somebody else. Let's add somebody else in here and then save it. So we can just change it, update it every time that someone is joined the organization or they're leaving. Well, I mean, when they're leaving, they're not going to be there either way, so it's going to be fine. Or we might want to delete it. Yep, sure, delete, activate, and that is that. Let's go back to subsurface, activate. The other thing that, as I've promised in the beginning, I've mentioned about some tips and some tricks that they're not very well known And there are, as I've said before, we do have a customer who does have employees who have lots and lots of tasks. Actually, all our customers do have specific employees who tend to do lots of processing, for example. What if we would like to show some priority? What if we would like to tell to those people that this is the first one, this is the most urgent one, just go and do it? You might have seen you might have noticed that we can just change the colors. So what I can do is I could just say that, yeah, this one, I will turn it red because this is a really, really urgent one. Bonk. Save. There you go. So that has been classified as an urgent one, depending on your policies and procedures, obviously, within your organization. However, what are we going to do with the other ones? There are 5 of them. Are we going to have different gradings of red? That's going to be a little bit cumbersome. There is a different way to do that. And that way is we can go, as we can see here, the filtering, the sequence, the sequence of the tasks has to do with the duration. The longest one is up on top. Then we have this one, which is a bit shorter. And then we have these 3. It's kind of pleasing to the eye, just seeing the big bulk up on top. However, for that particular purpose, what we can do is just sort tasks by name. Activate. I haven't mentioned that as before doing that, but if you will have a close look, you will see that each task, the tasks are those which are not bold, the plain text. They do have a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm kind of forcing the priority of the tasks. Do I have to change it? Do I have to say that, yeah, this is not that urgent, this is the least urgent? Okay, I will just click the pencil. And I will change the name to, which is the last one, 5, okay, 6. Save. And that will jump down to the bottom. So immediately, Bill would be able to know that, yep, that's on top, I'll do this one, then I'm doing that one, that one, that one, that one, and so on and so forth. Let's change that to number 2. So pretty helpful for individuals who have lots of tasks and lots of processing deliverables on a day. I will click done. And since we are on Bill, I would just like to just jump on his profile once again. And what I would like to do now, so these are the tasks that I've done on that day. What I would like to do is just record the time spent on those tasks. So I can go to timesheets. That's on my account right now, on Bill's account. So whatever you're seeing here, it's Bill's calendar. Yeah, there you go. April the 6th. So we can see all those tasks in here. Now, what Bill will have to do is just say how many hours he spent on each and every task. 3 and 2 hours. That was a busy day. And then processed area A. Let's copy paste it for this stage so that we will not delay. And then we can click save in all of them. And there you go. Now, Bill has recorded all his hours. So we know, he knows, the entire organization knows exactly what has been recorded and how many hours have been recorded on each and every project. This is quite, I'd say, really important feature of Kompass, that we will not ask our employees to go and record their hours ad hoc on their own, trying to find out which project. Well, that's what they're doing. However, they do know exactly on which project and on which task they've worked. It's not down to them to kind of pick the project themselves or just record the hours somewhere. We had customers in the past that they were spending really lots of time just going through a daily base, just going and checking whether the employees are recording correctly their hours. That doesn't have to be done in here. As you can see, they're kind of streamlined and they can record their hours pretty and easy. And that is the second time that I'm having a short break to go and have a look on some questions. Let's go back to the schedule. And I am here. I can see that on chats, we've got Q&A. We've got nothing. Cool. So I guess I can just move on for the very last one. And then we're going to have, yeah, we're okay. Time-wise, we're absolutely fine. We're going to have lots of time after covering the entire material to just have a bit of a chat, or just chat, not really, because everyone is on mute. just chit chat over the chat box. let's go back to April. So I am, where am I? What am I doing? I am on department. Yes, I'm on my department. Cool. We've seen tasks, we've seen available, we've seen leave, we haven't seen equipment. This is the equipment view of Kompass. Now, colors mean something. Colors cannot change. Each color is a type of an equipment. What type of equipment we've got? On that particular instance, these are the equipment that we have in our organization, but it's entirely down to you as a customer to set your own types. I will just go to total stations. There we go. And we can see all total stations and where they are assigned in my department. Now, what you might notice is that we have a new user in here called Office. This is a storage. This is where we have all the equipment that are available to be scheduled. In case I want to schedule them, I will just click Edit. I will go up here. I will drag it, and I'll drag it to Math, and I will drag it down to Robert, and back to the office. There you go. It's that easy, really, drag and drop. And as you can see, all the equipment are assigned to people. They're not assigned to projects, they're assigned to people because people are kind of responsible for this, not kind of, they are responsible for this equipment. This is really, really helpful when it comes to vehicles as well. And we were getting, in the past, when I was in the previous company, we were getting some notice, some penalty notices. And it was so easy to just jump on Kompass and have a look who had the instrument straight away, instead of just going to a spreadsheet in an obscure location that some people might not be fully aware of. You're just going back to the employee and saying that I can see that you had the van, and they can see that. And it's much more clear cut for everybody communicating those instances. So this one is here. Now, once again, you might recall that I've said I have a bit of a trick here. Some of you might be aware of, some others might not. If you're an equipment manager in your organization, you will not just check your own department, you will check the entire organization. And I will remove everything. And now, as you can see, it's quite a lengthy one. And for some of you, or for other customers as well, that might be really, really lengthy, which means that if at some point I would like to get Alexandros Brown instrument and drag it to the office, that's a long way down. It is a long way down to go. It's a bit of a clunky process. There is a different way to do that. Yeah, I didn't even take it actually. So a nice way for you to drop it to the office is you click the quick edit, you remove the name, and now it's down to the office. So you don't have to do all this dragging up and down your screen to just bring it up and down. Equally, you can do the opposite. You can just assign it straight away like this. So yeah, I was describing that last week, and the person who've seen that just fall off his chair because he was struggling a lot with all this dragging up and down. So with that said, we have covered everything we want to cover in this webinar. So once again, I will just gonna have a quick look and see we have no QAs, we have no questions. I think I am fantastic on explaining Kompass, or I might be terrible and no one understands what I'm talking about. Anyway, so let's go back to our presentation. I mean, I'm gonna leave the chat open. I'm gonna leave the webinar open for us if we want to have a bit of a chat and a bit of a comment or any question. But for some of you that you might decide to leave, thank you very much for joining this webinar. Should you have any questions, should you want to contact us for anything, feel free to. That's my email. That's me. I had a little bit more kilos in there, but anyways, that's me. You can just drop me a mail, drop me a text. If this is something new to you, if you haven't seen Kompass before, feel free to just jump on our website and book a demo. We'd be more than happy to just show you Kompass and show you much, much more than what we've seen right now. Follow us on LinkedIn to see what we're doing on a weekly basis. And finally, you can find lots of YouTube videos on this address, along with the webinar. The first one and the second one will be tomorrow, but you're going to find lots and lots of other videos explaining different aspects of Kompass. So yeah, I will just stick around for a while, up until 5:30. Thank you very much. We got some nice comments. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Cool. We've got the 5 minutes left in your meeting. Anything else or up? No, there's nothing else. We've covered everything, I think. Okay, I see that there are no other questions or any chats. Therefore, I will be closing this webinar, I guess. And got some more. So as I've said, anytime, feel free contacting us. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.